Hello, 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 denizens of the multiverse. Welcome to Talking as a Free Action, a weekly show in which I, previously the Question Lord Triumphant, now reduced down to the Poppet, I scoop someone out of Faerun and the other planes. For 55 minutes or so, I put them through a series of dungeons. They answer questions. They fight villains. I gain knowledge, for that is what we Question Lords are all about. Benefactors, kindly deities who just want to learn. Stay in school, kids. Well, now I have two entities with me this evening. One is Garnott, and the other is that most excellent of companions, Roger. Now, Garnott and or Roger, as I say, you're going to face a few challenges. If it all gets a little bit too dicey, simply proclaim talking is a free action, and then some wibbly wobbly stuff will happen, and I will be able to talk to the being that exists above you, a being known as Josh. Now, Josh exists in the real world, or as my associates know it, the real world, and I'm not quite sure what hand moves Roger, but I look forward to finding out. Now, Garnott, how are you feeling, old fellow? You ready for an adventure?
I'm slightly confused. I don't know what it is, but you look vaguely familiar. I think I've seen you somewhere before.
I think we might have talked to each other before. Do you remember my good lady wife, the Tempest?
I do not, but it's I'm very pleased to meet you.
You're a very polite young man. As I said, Roger, a pleasure, as always. Yes, so before we begin, let me simply state that we are very grateful to our supporters and our sponsors. That's Phoenix Dice, Idle Champions, and Elderwood Academy, and my sweethearts, my darlings, the D20 Club, the Dice Heads, by the addition of one of their local currency, be it gold, dollars, or there you go. You are giving love to the people.
I don't know what came over me, but something told me that I needed to do this.
I mean,
that's why I went a bit cross-eyed before.
Roger, sponsorship has taken down.
Oh no.
Anyway, if you even if you provide us a goat, you keep the lights on, and you gave us a Discord and a wiki. So if you want to join these fine folk, please do so. If you can't join us here in the Labyrinth of Lore live, then simply you can find us on VODs or YouTube, look for Roll Together RPG, and on podcast, Roll Together RPG. But of course, if you are listening on a podcast, you merely listen to this melodious tones and you don't get to see the hand puppets. Also, Roll Together RPG on all the social medias, be that ticking, talking, the facing booking, and whatever they're calling Twitter this week. So, this is how it's going to work. Garnott, if you could reach into your pocket and pull out, you should have a pair of dice in there. Roger, no. Roger, there you go. So if Roger could roll, then we can get things going. As I said, simply proclaim talking is free action if it all gets a little bit too much. Roger?
It's getting a little bit too much. Talking is a free action.
Hello.
Sorry, nobody's ever done it that right.
No, haven't. So Josh, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm looking forward to what happens in the dungeon.
Chaos.
Is there a reason why your lamp is on an 11? Is it? Are you able to turn that lamp around to all the different numbers, or is it just?
Probably could. It just depends on where the wire is. So because the wire's there on what would probably be the 1.
Yeah, that's good. That you can never roll a 1 with that lamp.
Because it's a 20.
The proper
I'm going to do that.
Sorry, I just wanted. There you go. May the light of the D20 shine down upon you.
Even though we're not using D20s, but hey.
Still, we live in hope. I mean,
Should we roll a question?
Should we roll? I mean, if you want to, hey, do you want to roll a question before we begin?
As well.
Yeah.
58.
58, you say. 2 shreds, you say. For a 58. What is your character's favourite snack?
Ooh. I think Garnott has got a bit of a sweet. He's got a bit of a sweet tooth. Got a bit of a sweet tooth, I think. I reckon his favourite thing to eat is probably an apple turnover. I reckon.
Ooh. Do you think he has a particular baker that he goes to for apple turnover? Or...
His mum used to be a baker. His adopted mother was a baker. The bakery was known for cinnamon buns. For anybody who's watched Huxley's book club, Blaze likes cinnamon buns. That was a particular favourite of the mother. But yeah, apple turnovers, but not just any apples. Fey apples.
Oh, well, that's risky. That's very
risky.
Yeah,
very tasty. Very sweet.
Yeah. I mean, that's addictive stuff, Fae food. That's I believe the audience remember we had a thing with Fae honey in another episode, and you know how addictive that stuff can be. Okay, apple turnover. Does Josh like an apple turnover?
Josh likes an apple turnover. It's not Josh's favourite cake, but I do like apple turnover.
What's your favourite cake?
It's got to be a cross between a Belgian bun and a cream slice, caramel cream. The sort of, the ones where it's like the flaky bread, the flaky material with the icing on the top, and then it's got the cream and the jam in the middle where you can pull it apart. One of them.
That's nice. That's very nice.
Or a Belgian bun.
Again. Okay, so you like something you can pull apart and...
Something I can get really messy with.
Solid. That's... Again, whenever we do our roll together, get together, we're like, right, what pastries are we, what cakes? I think it'd be quite nice if we just had it in a cafe. We're just going to eat a lot of cake and drink a lot of tea. And that's when, Josh, are you tea or coffee?
Coffee. I do drink tea, but I prefer coffee.
Same. Do you think Garnott is tea or coffee?
I think Garnott would be dangerous on coffee.
Yeah, a bit too.
A bit too much. I think Roger drinks coffee.
I can imagine Roger, when he's in the army, just has a little... He's probably got his own little coffee press, and it's...
I think we've had in one of the episodes that I've looked in, and he's sitting at his own little table with a tea, drinking out of a cup. So yeah, Roger is definitely a tea drinker.
That makes sense. That's very sweet. I like that. What do you think Roger's favourite snack is?
Whatever Garnott drops in the armour.
You get the crumbs, which...
Get the crumbs.
And again, if you're talking about very flaky pastries, so that's... I just
picture some art. I just picture a piece of artwork with Garnott sitting on a wall, just a random wall somewhere, eating an apple turnover, and Roger is on his shoulder, also eating a rat-sized apple turnover.
That's lovely character art, yeah. Where you're just hey, if anyone feels artistic or they want to design a roll together calendar, hello, this is Mr. September.
You're determined to make this roll together calendar thing happen, aren't you?
I think it's a really sweet idea. I like the idea of having, because we've had people going, I'd really like G's art in some form, and I'm like, a calendar is a simple enough thing, and we can also... The problem is, the way I work is then I take it to the next level, and I was like, when's the character's birthdays?
Oh god.
Yeah.
That's the question. Does Faerun, what calendars
different? Because
what calendar does Faerun follow?
It isn't a traditional calendar, and because it's because there are holidays like Harvest Mount, and it's sort of that would be really interesting to do a Faerunian calendar. So you're it's useless for
normal.
For the normal, yeah. But
the real wow-out, as I can never say.
Real wow-out. Yeah.
Words, English, difficult.
But hey, we can have a word with the kobolds and see what they can... I think we could give them a printing press and see what they can knock up. Anyway, wow. Okay, now we've got off on that. All right. No, that's odd. That's no, I don't think I. Yeah, Garnott or Roger, you want to roll that dice?
I'll roll it. I'll let
Yeah,
Roger's sitting on my shoulder. He's a bit. You right? Yeah, he's right. He's fine. That is a. Oh no, he fell again.
Roger,
just dived off.
Roger has now leapt down into the void and is scared. Roger, no, stop eating the. Roger is eating.
Oh, he's looking. Oh, he's looking at the dice. He's looking at the dice. 86.
86. The white void slowly starts forming into something more concrete around you. Ahead of you is a large wooden door and a stone arch. Above the arch are carved runes in a language that you do not speak. The large wooden doors slowly swing open. Are you going to walk in?
I'll have a little look in. Yeah.
You have a little look. It's a long stone corridor, flagged stones on the wall. Torches burning blue, which, as we said, we all know is the hottest of fires. Garnott, you start walking down the corridor. Ahead of you is another one of these wooden doors. Are you going to go in?
Yeah, might as well. I mean, nothing's really going to... If I turn around and went back through the door I just came through, nothing's going to happen, is it? I'll just end up in the room I was in before, wouldn't I?
I mean, do you want to find out?
Yeah, go on here. Why not? Turn around. Go back through the other door.
You walk back into the other door, where you just... the Poppet's just standing there in the void and is like, Are you leaving? Have you given up?
What happens if I did leave?
I mean, you just keep walking for a while. I mean, I'm on a time limit here. I have you for 55 minutes. I mean, if you just want to just sit and wait in your time, it's your prerogative, you know.
No, I'll play the game. It's only fair that I play it. I'll go back that way.
That's fair. You know, sort of credit to you for finding out. For other bizarre, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 14.
You can kind of see over the Poppet's shoulder, like behind him, there is a small table that the Poppet is also sitting behind with the Tempest, and they wave at you.
Hello, number 2.
You good?
Yeah. Why is there 2 of you?
Oh, we contain multitudes.
That makes no sense. And I'll carry on.
You turn around the door. You walk back into the corridor. You walk into the door. The room you enter. It's a 40 by 40 square room. Sandstone wall. Around you, unfortunately, are bones. Bones of various beings. Some in armor, some in robes, some with staffs, some with swords. To your mind, this is probably a graveyard of adventurers. In the center of the room, on a pedestal, is a large pink gem. And above the door, the other side of the room, is a hole about the size of the gem, and even the shape of the gem, and a small sort of like illusion which is flashing, insert gem to exit. And it's pointing down. What do you want to do?
Well, Roger doesn't like this room, so it's disappeared into my armor.
Oh, that's so smart, Roger. You have a little lie down. You have a lovely cup of tea. You have a sit down and you have a cup of tea.
Sit down and a cup of tea, yeah. That's what Roger's doing right now. Exactly. Well, I mean, it's telling me to insert the gem. I'm going to walk up to it. I'd like to inspect it. I'd like to inspect my path towards the gem first to see if there's any traps. And then once I get to the gem, because I've done, you know, I've been around the mills a bit. I am a seasoned adventurer, as they like to say. I'm not very good at bodyguarding, but I'm a seasoned adventurer. So I will check for the pedestal for traps as well, and the gem, just to make sure you know, that there's nothing that's going to make me look like these guys on the floor here.
So, what's your passive investigation?
That is 12.
Right. Are you going to use your passive as you're traveling, or are you going to take your time to look at?
I'm going to take my time, I think.
Amazing. Roll an investigation check for me.
That's going to be an 18.
Amazing. So you're looking at the various bodies. What particular are you looking at?
I'm looking to see if anything is trapped anywhere, really. I just want to make sure that there's no like poison darts, no like bits of flooring that looks like if you put too much weight on it, it'd go down or disappear.
So you're mostly looking at the floor and the surrounding area.
The floor, surrounding area, the pedestal, and the gem.
All right. I'll make you roll again for the gem and the pedestal, but looking around and also looking at the bodies, you don't sort of see darts sticking into them. You don't see the armor isn't scorched. It doesn't. So it's not a poisoned arrow. It's not a flame trap. It's not. It doesn't appear that they've been crushed. They're not wet. No one's drowned. Make a investigation check for the pedestal and the gem.
I shall do. That's going to be a 15.
You look. An image flashes of an adventurer, like balancing a bag of sand in their hand, not quite getting it, and that resulting in bad. This doesn't seem to be that sort of trap. The gem is certainly being held in place. You have sort of a slight tingle that there is magic going on with this gem. But having looked around, you get the feeling that you're probably not, it's not going to drop you into a trapdoor or anything. You can't see a seam. And as I said, you can't see darts, you can't see fire. It does look like possibly taking this gem will result in something, but it's probably not going to be a physical trap.
Right, it's definitely magical. I'm not too good with magic. I'm more of the invisible type of stuff, you know, the psionic stuff. That's it. That's what I'm good at. So, I mean, what happens if I die? Do I die in the real world?
If you die in the game, you die in real life. No. You so whatever happens to you here, you go back to the moment I scooped you. So you really have a prerogative. I mean, if you wanted to cut all your fingers off, I wouldn't advise it, but I wouldn't advise it. So yes, if you die, you die, but previous you will be fine.
Oh, right, okay. I'll tell you what I'll do. I will stand behind the gem, and I'm going to angle myself in whatever position I need to, whether it be a squat position or my knees, whatever, so that I've got a clear line between the gem and the hole that it needs to go in. And I'm going to line that up. And as I do, you're going to see as my eyes start to glow white. My hand, there's like a white outline that appears around my body. And I'm going to, I believe the ability is called, because, you know, I've played Garnott enough now, I should know what it's called. I'm going to use telekinetic movement to lift the gem out of its place and to shoot it straight into the door without touching it.
Roll initiative.
Oh, shit. Oh, God, that's an 11.
The room goes first.
Uh-oh.
You lift the gem, and as you pull it back, you feel like a lurch, and look down, and the floor has taken on like an orange ring around the outside. You take a moment to glance up to see a blue ring at the ceiling as everything on the floor plummets, goes through the roof and begins falling, as do you. You're now in free fall, but you flung the gem. Make a luck roll, you know, to see if you're gonna. Yeah, just to see if you're gonna get that gem in there.
I'll just pause mid-fall and just go, would you like that to be a D20 or a D100?
Oh, D100, please, says the
Oh,
Poppet. as he's also falling like, whee! Very in roller coaster mode.
That's a 93.
I think I've got to...
no, it is 93. Sorry, I thought it was an 8 then, but it's 93.
It's an 8. I often confuse 93 and 8. I think I'll give that to you. That the gem sort of goes into the slot. There's a click, and the door... You're still falling.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm not really good with inertia. Okay, so what I'll do now is that no, that's not the one. Sorry, I've learned a few new abilities. What?
Yeah.
What? I have an ability that is called telekinetic thrust.
Right.
So that basically allows me to... No, that's not right. Oh, sorry. It's called psi-powered leap.
Right.
What it does is I gain a fly speed equal to my walking speed. So I shall do that. And then what I'll do is I'll say, sorry, Poppet. I'll use the Poppet's body to bounce myself off of them. And I'll start bouncing between all the different bits because Josh speaking here. Josh just popping through the veil for a moment.
Hi, Josh. Good to see
the Garnott, even though he gains a flying speed, technically the way that I've done it in my head is it's not fly. He like just jumps like anime style, jumps around, jumps around, and all of that sort of stuff. He doesn't just like fly around because that's boring. So he does anime jump. So that's what he's going to do.
I'm going to say, can you make me like not a saving roll, but like a dex roll, just to because I want to see how well you because there, as I said, there are various skeletons and rocks and things falling to sort of like as you're doing the anime thing where you're like holding onto the thing and then jump. Yeah, just make me a dex roll.
Can I do it as acrobatics?
Yes.
Oh God, that's a 13.
Garnott. You do get there, but it again, sort of like I'm thinking of like Mario 64, where you have to kick off the wall, up. It takes you a good few tries, and you come out like you're feeling groggy. It wasn't for what you were expecting, like a sort of cool acrobatic jump. You keep stumbling, but of course the thing is that you're falling at the same speed. You don't quite get the timing, but you do after about 4 or 5 attempts jump and like roll, and you're through the door, and the door closes behind you, and then you just hear a clatter of bones, and as the room resets.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, I thought that might go a bit better than it did.
How are you feeling?
Well, my stomach's a little bit, it's churning a little bit, but...
Do you want something for that, or...?
Yeah, I'll certainly say... Oh, hello, Roger. Yeah, hang on. 1 sec.
Yeah, see, as Roger hands you a glass of juice.
That's better. I feel better now. Roger gives me these things called beans.
Beans?
Yeah, they're called S-beans. It makes my stomach feel better.
Oh, that's nice. That's good, Roger. Good that you've got your own little pharmacist taking care of you.
Yes, they're all legal.
Of course. I mean, laws are,
they're all legal, right?
We're in international waters here, Garnott. What I says goes. So, hey, if you, I mean, do you want to get crazy? Is that what you want to do?
Oh no, I'm all right, thanks.
Good.
I'm from the Fae, so
no. Sort of. There are a few terrifying things out there. Don't eat the mushrooms, folks.
No, don't eat them. The apples are nice. Don't touch the mushrooms.
No, the mushrooms have opinions as well. They don't like being consumed. Anyway, congratulations, Garnott. You managed not to get crushed by falling debris, or again for You could have tried the old bag of sand trick. I mean, unfortunately, you won't remember this, but good for next time you're in a spooky dungeon temple.
I've got abilities, I might as well use them.
Well, sort of not much fun if you just decide to sit around and you're tuckus and hope. But good use. Is that like a spell ability thing, or how many times can you do those crazy jumps?
I have. I mean, if you want me to put a number on it, I can do that sort of thing. About 7 times a day.
7 times a day. Wow, that's,
roughly. If you were to put a number on it.
One for every sin.
Yeah. Where it's sort of like I can do it. I can do it once, and then like with no detriment to myself. But every time I do it after that, it takes up some of my psionic energy. But my other things that I do also take up some of my psionic energy. So I have to be really careful with what I choose to use.
Oh, you don't drain
my levels. It's a bit similar to how a spellcaster casts spells from how I've been told, but it's just you just got to be careful with what you do.
Not enough mana points or spoons, as the young are now saying. Anyway, Garnott, success. Please do feel free to roll that dice again, and we'll see what else we've got.
Sorry, did you just say roll that dice?
Oh, you know the old slogan. Yes, roll that dice.
That's a 48.
48, you say. Interesting. You head down the corridor, the burning torches, the stone, actually similar, again, sliding stone door. It seems it's going for a real temple run vibe here. The door slides down, you step into the new room. Do you have dark vision? Question of every good DM.
Yes, I do.
Amazing. So obviously this is in grey in the darkness, but you're in it's relatively well lit. You're in a temple-like room. There is jungle vines, there's heat, there's a slight sort of beam of light coming through a broken crack in the ceiling. Right in the middle of the room is a large statue, and you would think it would be a tiger, but tigers don't have this number of eyes. It has like 10 eyes around it, but each eye is like a red ruby, just floating there, just glowing slightly. There you go. A 10-eyed tiger in the middle of the room, door on the other side. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm sensing a bit of a theme here.
Well, you're an adventurer. You're not a bodyguard, but you are an adventurer. You seem to be going with the,
Yeah, well, I'm not like a Tomb Raider or anything like that. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to walk up to the other door. I want to see if there's a way, if it's locked in any sort of way, or if I can just open it, or
You're just walking out into the room. Just walk to the door.
Yeah, I mean, I'll check for traps along the way.
Oh, well, where are you now? Well, is that something you're doing? Is that you're going to check for traps?
After what happened in the last,
you're going to have a little looky-loo for traps, are you? Please roll me some investigation rolls, please.
I definitely will. I mean, I don't really want to be falling like I did last time.
I can guarantee you won't be falling.
That's a 5.
Cool. Sorry, all right, ready. Fine. You notice that they're like the vines are tangled around various, again, bodies, skeletons, and you hear like the of a bird taking off, and that's enough to startle you to take a step back to hear the clunk as your heel moves in slightly. The eyes spin round. There's just a
duck out of the way. Touch and roll.
Yeah, please make a dexterity saving roll.
Oh, I'm not at a high enough level yet. Oh shit. My rolls are going really bad. That's 10.
The 10 laser beams. Boom, 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 boom. Garnott, you're just blasted back. How How many hit points do you have?
76. If I was to give it a number.
Just a hypothetical. I think that's... Yeah, let's take... Hypothetically, let's take 25 hit points off you for that.
Oh! Ow!
Yeah, you feel burning. Your armor is pockmarked. But fortunately, in stepping, being blasted back, you don't step on another trap. But yeah, the Poppet's just floating there going, yes, Tomb Raider.
Ow!
Yeah, that hurts, doesn't it?
It does a bit. How come you're not getting shot?
I'm of the... Well, first of all, I'm floating. Second of all, I'm kind of invulnerable. I mean, she got stabbed, which we're still trying to work out, and I will fix you eventually. Just... one of the last adventurers... Yeah, hi Roger.
They've got a strange relationship.
Yeah, no. One of the last adventurers who came here through me tried to get me into couples counselling. Yeah, there's like there's an alternate version of her where I died, she lived. Anyway, we've been asked to like go and have breakfast together. Garnott, the Poppet is now just sort of like, Garnott, are you in a relationship?
No.
Do you know anything about relationships?
No, not really.
No, neither do I really.
Not really interested.
No, well, I mean, I love my wife, even though she well, you know, as I keep saying, what's a little bit of romance without a few beheadings? But yes,
beheadings.
Beheadings, yeah. No, there's a reason I have to wear this scarf.
Oh no, I meant because she's on your hand. I said
behandings.
Yeah,
Ow.
That was my attempt at a joke.
No, it's fine. She took my hand now, and then suddenly our punishment is she's like a parasite. Really. No, a lovely parasite.
She took your hand in marriage, literally.
Yeah. Hey, Garnott, stay away from the marriage chapel. That's all I'm saying. Are
there any pillars in this room?
Yeah, that's quite a few actually. Do you want to go hide behind a pillar?
No, I'm gonna.
You're gonna do your jumping.
I'm gonna do my jumping across the pillars.
Oh, that's
technically I'm flying, but yeah.
Well, do you want to roll another dexterity check?
I'd like to fly.
Well, I'm sure you would, old man. I just 15. Want to see 15. Okay. 15 worth of... I think, again, this is skilled. You're jumping. This is kind of what you wanted to happen in the previous room, that you're doing that kind of, landing, holding there for a bit too long, and then jumping. You do manage to jump. The tiger's eyes follow you, but you do land on the little podium next to the door. You've made it across with only minor contusions.
Yeah, minor.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me just wipe that blood off.
Yeah, no. I mean, you've got another kidney. Don't sulk.
Right.
There you go, Garnott. You survived the tiger room. Congratulations.
Just. Can I go for it? Is the door open? Can I get through yet?
Yeah. The door slides down. As you walk through, please feel free to roll that dice.
Rolling that dice. That's a 62.
A 62. Oh dear. Garnott, you walk into the corridor. Ahead of you, you sort of see yourself walking towards you. What colour's your armour?
Black and red. I've got black and red armour with like a yellow with a lot of white sort of accents.
This one is white armour with red and black accents.
Oh wow!
Garnott in the mirror has like a gecko on his shoulder. The torches and the sconces are burning red. And floating next to Garnott is a muscular, red-haired woman with a pig puppet on her hand, who just looks and just goes, you can't hear what's... again, I'm also preparing this for the podcast audience. You can't hear what she's saying, but she's sort of like going, what, again? And the puppet's like, I know, we just... She's like, taps her wrist, and he's like, no, we're not doing the breakfast. Do you remember Garnott? And she's like, nods, and then gestures to her Garnott. I was like, yeah, no, of course I remember. Anyway, as both Question Lords turn to look at their Garnotts, as you can see, well, what do you think's happening here, Garnott?
Well, it looks like we're looking in a backwards mirror.
Yes, we are. Would you care to solve the puzzle? Garnott, for the audience, is looking around, as is of a Garnott, who sort of stops and then just waves at you. It gives you a thumbs up, and then sort of points at you and points it and gives another thumbs up. It's like, you good?
I'm good, thanks. You?
Gestures are like eyes and does sort of like laser beams and point, and you can see there's burns on the armor. Like, yeah.
Well, I'm going to walk up to the glass and I'm going to put my hand on it to start.
Other Garnott also. It's cold as sort of. But then as you touch it, there's a slight sort of ripple feeling.
I'm just going to point to the other Garnott and I'm going to do that. Put your face against it, mate. Well, like that.
Sort of, again, puts his face against you.
How close are we going to get?
You're pushing yourself into the mirror.
Yes. I'm not going to fuse. Am I going to fuse with... Sorry?
Make an intelligence check.
I'm not going to fuse with the other Garnott. Oh, that's the third or fourth time that I've rolled a 5. That's a 7.
You push, and you feel the bizarreness of, like, as you touch other Garnott, and you become one, and there are too many memories. You're remembering your time when your mother would make lemon tarts. You're remembering your time with Rodrigo the lizard. You know, there's too much. There's too much going, and you just feel like an arm going around you and going, no, and you're pulled back. And as you do it, you kind of like see that the woman's hand reaches out and she goes, "You're not leaving me again," and pulls him back. Dangerous, Garnott. Very dangerous to cross your timelines. I mean, two versions of the same being in one body. It can cause great calamity. Great psychological damage beyond belief. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just informing you what you did could have been very. The redhead woman is literally just face against it, like unblinking. He's like, "We're going to go to counselling. We're going to have the breakfast meeting." Garnott.
Yeah.
The torches have gone off on the other side of this mirror. Do you want to extinguish those torches on this side?
I mean, what just happened? I've got a distinct taste for lemon now.
Yeah, no, okay, so...
Why is parts of my armour yellow?
Yeah,
white?
No, you've kind of... Yeah, you've really mixed yourself. It's like if you drop, like, peas and rice into the same thing. You've sort of scooped it together, you know.
That sounds quite nice, actually.
It is a very nice meal. You're mixed now. So you and that, let's say, lemon Garnott has now...
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. You've swapped some stuff. Fortunately, hopefully that's not going to infect your timeline, or indeed his timeline. You can kind of see that the redheaded woman is having the same conversation, but is doing it more sort of like twirling the hand like flippant. But Poppet for you is being more sort of intensely concerned, and she's like, yeah, no, well, I mean, I guess that you like rainy days now. And I've gone, it's like, oh, okay.
Hang on a minute. What? Yeah. Hang on.
Right.
Why has he got a Roger over there?
Oh, buggery.
And why have I got a gecko on over here?
Oh dear.
Talking is a free action.
Woof. Okay, so that's going to take us a little bit of time to try and get. I assume you want Roger back.
I've got Roger with me still. You just gave me an alternate timeline version of Garnott. I just thought I'd mix them together.
No, I'm going to say, does your version of Garnott want his rat friend back?
Oh yeah, he'd have his rat friend back. I reckon he'd now have a gecko as well.
You have a.
Is there a gecko on Hero Forge? Can I give Garnott 2 creatures on one base?
Yeah. Are you going to steal Rodrigo from alternate Garnott?
Sorry, what's that? Talking as a free action doesn't affect the mainline story?
Oh, it does.
I'm here to sow chaos.
Yeah. I still think one of my favourite ones was Sean going, oh, I'd love to do that. I lost all my pitons somewhere. I was like, yep, you dropped them in my dungeon. Amazing. Let me roll. That is a 67. Josh, don't know if you've been asked this one. Who would you love to have at your gaming table?
Ooh, interesting. Are we talking celebrities, or are we just talking anyone?
Bit of both.
Well, I'll stick with celebrities, or
it's probably easier,
or people who are well known.
Yeah.
That might not classify as a celebrity, because there's such a veil between what is and isn't one. The obvious answer in terms of D&D would be like Matt Mercer, Mark Coombs, Brendan Lee Mulligan, and like Joe Manganiello, Travis Willingham, and all that sort of stuff. But if it's me DMing, I would be too scared to DM for them. Far too scared to DM for them.
You start doing like a sound effect, and Matt's like, interesting. That's how you're doing a door. Of course, Mercer, lovely guy, but we'll also be like, interesting. Okay.
After seeing some of the stuff that he can do with his voice, I wouldn't even attempt it. But in all honesty, as much as it would scare me, 100% would be Travis Willingham and Mark Coombs. Jason Momoa, because I just think it would be funny with him going, all right, hell yeah, and all that sort of stuff, everything that happens, that'd be cool. Who else? There's a few others. There was one in my head, and now it's left my head, and I can't remember who it was. So I'm going to have to say somebody different. Jules State would be a nice one to have.
Oh, okay, yeah.
From Firefly and Stargate Atlantis. How many people am I having?
I mean, how big a game do you want to run?
I normally prefer tables of 5. So how many have I got so far? 3? 4 I've got, so one more.
Okay, so Jill State, Willingham,
Mark Coombs, and Jason Momoa. Which is funny because Jill State and Jason Momoa are both in Stargate Atlantis, so that would be pretty easy.
It's a sort of reunion.
Yeah, and the last one would have to be, just for the laughs, I'm going to say Matt Rife.
Okay.
The youngish comedian who's sort of coming up in the American circuit, because I reckon he'd be funny. Maybe.
That's fair. That's
fair.
It's a very American table, and I think
well, Mark Coombs is British, but yeah, the only one. There is 100% a more detailed list of people that I would have, but on the top of my head right now, they're the names that came to my head.
I think that's fair. I think that's sort of like,
I would need a good 20 to 30 minutes to actually think of actual people and go through and diagnose the reasons why I would have them at my table, sort of thing.
I look forward to getting a message from you at like 11 o'clock where you're like, right, okay.
If I do that, then my actual list will probably pop up in a minute. Either the mods will put it in, or it'll just appear on screen, or what my actual list is.
Kobolds.
Because kobolds are awesome.
Interesting. Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah, that person. Yeah, that person. Yeah, that person's really good. Yeah, I liked them in that thing that they were in. Yeah, definitely.
But that person would do a good voice.
Yeah,
great.
I'm gonna have to do it now. I've committed to the bit.
Hey, no. Like I said with the calendar, I say things, and either people are like, "Oh, that's stupid," or they're like, "Oh, that's actually a good idea," and I'm like, "Ha, I'm getting what I wanted." No, I think that sounds like a great table. What do you feel? Do you want to? Should we do another one?
Yeah, let's do another one. I think this wibbly wobbly timey-wimey stuff's going to take a little while to sort itself out.
It's getting sorted. I mean, they're getting spliced apart, and then it's like, oh, now we're splitting them into emotions. You know, this one's the angry Garnott. This is the one who can't handle lactose. Yeah, very nice. What spell or ability would you like to have in real life?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's one of our classics.
Yeah. Action surge.
That would be very useful.
That'd be very useful because it will allow me to do a lot more in a shorter space of time.
But for 6 seconds. Yeah, like
you can do a lot in 6 seconds.
It's true. You're like, I'm dashing.
Kobolds, calm down.
Yeah. Kobolds.
Second wind as well would be good when I believe Patch gave that answer when I interviewed Patch for Talk Together, which the way that he described it was spot on. When especially use it when you get into the end of the week and you just need that little bit of an extra boost. Second wind. Yeah, I think that's definitely good. Spell wise, again, I'm not going to copy again something that Patch said, but it's just perfect. Patch said Gift of the Gab, which I didn't realise was a spell.
Yeah.
But I would probably choose Invisibility.
Ooh.
Not for any reasons. Literally just because if there's something coming up that I don't really want to be a part of, I can just disappear from it. What's that? What's that? You've got to go do something. You've got to go do adulting that you don't want to do. Invisibility. Where did they go?
I was going to say, how is it being a family man, Josh? Wait, like, Daddy, we need to. Oh, Daddy's gone. Daddy's gone. Invisible. I think that's. Yeah. I think that.
I wouldn't use it so much on my children, but it would be more adult and stuff.
Yeah. Well. Also, the terrifying thing when someone's like, "Sorry, do you have a minute to talk about your bike?" And you just disappear, like Bilbo Baggins. Just vanished.
No, I've got a better one.
Yeah,
either clone or simulacrum. I have copies of myself that can go do those things for me.
Interesting.
I can do the fun stuff at home with the kids and stuff, and then I can send them to do the boring things like work and adult stuff.
Josh, you like science fiction, don't you?
I like science fiction.
Yeah. Has that ever worked out well in science fiction where you've got the clone to go do the boring stuff? The clone will always get resentful and then be like, well, maybe I should be the real one. Maybe I should be the one getting the kisses from the love interest. Your clone will go evil, Josh. That's just the nature of clones.
Yeah, but there's not an evil bone in my body, though. That's the thing. I'm just too nice. I try to be evil, and then I just turn into a party dad. It's a real life thing as well as an in-game thing.
Oh, interesting. I just, I think that's sweet. I think that's a nice silver fight. Meanwhile, I'm on a rooftop wrestling myself going, no! How dare you? They don't love you, they love me. I'm the popular...
I'm the one that wants to be on the trains.
Yeah, I can't leave. You're the one who has to keep riding the trains. I think, again, like, I would love to do it in like a theatrical thing of basically doing the Prestige. Where you're like, and now I'm at the back. Yeah, or like faking the gun catching and then fall down. And I'm like, step out of a box. I've been in the box the entire time. Yeah. No, I think that's sweet. I think that's a nice, again, for both spells, for being a busy man with a lot to do, where you're like, it would be so much easier. Again, this is where I'd be talking to this version, and then like a version of you turns up as like, actually, I've done the taxes for this year, and you're like, well done, other Josh. There's Josh 1 and Josh A, so we don't make them feel too bad.
So just so they both feel like number 1 or the alpha.
It's a bit like I think it's the Towering Inferno, where like one actor got to be on the left, but the other one got to be higher up. So they were like, they're equal, like Steve McQueen. You know, it's like either way. But yeah, I think that's a solid. How about a cantrip? Is there any,
Right, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3, as a lot of people probably have, and the Friends cantrip is incredibly helpful. Incredibly helpful for social situations. Not so, I don't find it so helpful in actual D&D, and I would prefer the Baldur's Gate 3 version of it.
Yes.
So Baldur's Gate 3 version of Friends. I get advantage on social interactions with people.
Until they work out like, hey, cast a spell, mate. I'll give you a fun little quiz question. So the creators of Baldur's Gate 3 said there was one spell we thought about putting in the game, but the thing is that if we'd put that in, it would have increased the space. It would have doubled. Do you know what spell that was?
What increased? What is in like the map size? Isn't it
The gigabyte. To put in, the more that it would double the data they would need to have put in the game.
Can I hang on 1 second? I would say phone a friend, but there aren't any available at the minute. So can I have a 50-50 or a clue? Let's just go for a clue, because you didn't even give me any answers, so I can't ask for 50-50.
No, I'll just tell you the answer.
Sound terrible, these games.
If this spell was cast, it would have changed so many things, like items, spells, other characters' stuff. It would have had things falling out of the air. It would have been very dramatic.
I mean, obviously, the first answer would be Wish, but there's no light level spells in the game anyway. So
you go to level 12,
Yeah, level 12 is what, 7th, 6th, 7th level spells, I think. So 6th level, I think. So, I mean, I want to say, obviously my original answer was going to be Dimension Door, because I've not gotten to the point where I can get 4th level spells yet, so I don't even know if Dimension Door's in the game. Identify?
No, that's not a bad one. But would you like to know?
Yeah.
Dispel magic. Because you think about that, how much magic there is in that world, and you get rid of that, things are just falling, things are falling apart. Yeah,
that's actually a very good point.
You can counter spell, but dispel magic's not in the game because they were like it would break. It would be too big. They would have to plan.
Well, that sucks. I like dispel magic.
Yeah. Hey,
why have I not noticed that? I've got Shadowheart up to 3rd level spells. Why have I not noticed it's not there?
Folks, by the time of recording, they're releasing a new patch, which they're like, you can change your appearance of your character. So who knows? Maybe dispel magic's. There's like a magic mirror now they're putting in.
No. Oh, I saw something about that. Awesome.
It's also the fact. So I've been playing it online with a couple of friends, and there's one friend who can never make it. Withers puts them in a cupboard, and just is like, if you want to get your friend out, they're just in this cupboard. So just in the camp, there's a cupboard with I'm looking at it, it's like my friend's just in there. I'm like, thanks, Withers.
I did wonder what happened when you come off of playing with your friends and then went back on, because it came up with a thing saying your friend is not currently active. You can still have this person in your party, but So I thought I could use them. I'd be like, nice.
Yeah, you technically could, if they're in your file, then. So actually, I had that where my other friend was like, "Oh yeah, we'll like level up his character." I was like, "Doesn't seem fair." And also that horrible thing of like when you're playing multiplayer and you're like, "Yeah, I'm just going to take all your good items," and that was the thing, that he was playing the rogue, and he was like going around picking up everything. I was like, and we're like, spiders, big spider, help! And he's like, okay, so get an arrow.
I did that I play a rogue as well, and I went and did. We're going on a tangent, everybody.
Yeah,
sorry.
fine, yeah.
I went and did all the goblin camp stuff. Spoilers, and I decided to fight my way out once I'd finished the goblin camp and did the stuff you had to do there. And then when we got back to the blighted village, I sort of left everybody where the barn is, and I went through the goblin camp and I Assassin's Creed assassinated him. I was like, sneak it out.
There again, slight spoilers. There's a druid in the game, and when you're talking to him, and you're like, "Oh, would you like to join our party?" And you say, "It would be really useful to have someone who could turn into a bear in the party." I'm a druid. I was wild shaped as a polar bear at the time. So my friend's character's like, "Oh yeah, that would be really good to have a bear." And like camera pans over, and I'm just like, Now, druid is one of the least played classes in the game, but is great, especially Circle
Which
of the Moon.
I find crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy fun. Where I'm like, we're just like bare hit points, or being a wolf, or like a cat, where you're just like, I'm just crawling into a burrow. But also because you get speak with animals, which is great. Where you're like talking to like Scratch. Scratch is always very excited to see you.
I like that about speak with animals and speak with dead. I like that as soon as you cast it, they're with you until you long rest. I would 100% implement that in my games, because that's just amazing. That the amulet, speak with dead amulet you can get at the beginning of the game has proven so handy.
Also, fun fact, folks, that if you kill a character, they won't want to talk to you. But if you can like shapeshift, they will forget. They'll be like, "Oh, this Dragonborn didn't murder me. I came from Baldur's Gate." You're like, good to know.
I do that quite a lot.
Yeah, it's a grand time. Anyway,
we could just do a whole episode on that.
Hey, do you want to? We could
talk together. Let's talk Baldur's Gate.
Hey,
3.
I think we've got enough people who are playing to come in and be able to be like, hey, that's so.
Chat, if you'd like us to do a Baldur's Gate 3 talk together with people from Roll Together who have played Baldur's Gate 3, let us know and we'll see if we can organise something.
We're going to have a real argument because they're like, no, Karlak likes me. No, I'm kissing. Again, playing with my friend where he's trying to date Shadowheart and I'm dating Karlak. And he got because Shadowheart was like, I don't really like you like that. And Karlak's just there going, I'll come see you when it gets dark and we can have a real time. He's just like, I don't like this. I'm playing like I've got a great picture of like I'm playing a lute. Everyone's like it's at the party, everyone's standing around, and in the background it's him getting dumped by Shadowheart.
Oh, amazing.
And then because once you finish playing your lute, everyone throws gold at you, and he grumpily was like, I'm taking this, I've had a hard day. I'm like, yeah, take the gold, go ahead, go buy yourself a potion. Yes, let us know, chat. And yeah, also tell us who you're kissing. Actually, my friend's getting really in-game. Also, no, just out of game. Just like, I'm kissing my wife. Nice. My friend is also very grumpy because Gale is hitting on him. And he's like, I don't want this. You're like, you can't stop him. Just as soon as he was like, can I show you a magic trick? And I was like, Gale's hitting you. He's like, no. He's like, wait. I'm like, you gave him a lot of lovely items. Oh, Gale. Anyway, right. Okay, that's what's your favourite sweet snack, Garnott?
I like apples, although I am quite partial to lemon now.
Right. Okay. Yes.
I'm fine with it. Just carry on.
Yeah, Roger, are you there? Good. Okay. I'm just gonna.
Shh, you won't tell him you're there, Gecko friend.
That is an issue for snitches get stitches and end up in ditches. Right.
They're also bitches.
I would never say that. Anyway, thank you, everyone.
I did.
You're a rascal, Garnott.
I know. It's my sense of humour.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here for Talking as a Free Action. If you have enjoyed it, you can find us here at 6 to 7 p.m. BST, or I believe GMT by the time you're watching this. We talk together, or it might be Talking as a Free Action, in which we talk to people in the TTRPG world, or we talk about Baldur's Gate 3. We could talk about other video games if you like. Do you like The Sims, folks? We got some opinions on The Sims. Anyway, you can find us playing Dungeons and Dragons Monday to Tuesday, 6 to 9 p.m. One of the little documentaries, such as the ones that are currently starring Garnott, who's in for a lovely little time. Maybe he'll get his side jump, for, you know. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this, you can find us at twitch.tv/RollTogetherRPG. The VODs are available right after the streams. And you can find all our content on youtube.com a couple of days later. And please also be aware that you can enjoy us as a podcast. I mean, you don't get to see all the visual gags, which is difficult when you're having to talk through a mirror. Anyway, big thank you once again to the D20 Club, who provide us with all the goats that give us sustenance. Garnott/Josh is doing the hand face. I can't just... Anyway, so one of your local currency keeps us going, keeps the lights on. Garnott, a portal begins opening behind you. It's going to take you back to where you last were before I did a little scoop. Anything you'd like to say before I send you back?
It's been a very nice time. Thank you very much. It's always good to get lost and appear in random places and meet awesome people. So thanks.
That's a very mature way of thinking of things, Garnott, and I think it will give you an interesting life, if not necessarily a long life. But I wish you all the best, and you take care of your two little friends, eh?
Thanks.
The Poppet reaches a very gentle gust, just blows you back. Again, people have been very polite this time. I haven't had to throw them through the portal. But as you disappear behind the door and the arch, and the runes above it begin translating themselves into a language which you can finally understand. The ancient proverb of the Question Masters themselves. Always stay classy at the table. And you're gone.